10 German luxury cars that'll bankrupt you with repairs. Number 10, BMW i8, the $150,000 hybrid heartbreak. Picture this. You're cruising in what looks like a spaceship with doors that open to the sky, feeling like Tony Stark himself. Then your hybrid system dies and suddenly you're feeling more like Tony Broke. The BMW i8 was supposed to be the future. Scissor doors, carbon fiber, everything, and a plug-in hybrid system that promised to save the planet while looking absolutely incredible doing it. At $150,000, it certainly looked the part. But here's what BMW's marketing team forgot to mention. This thing has more failure points than a NASA rocket launch. When that electric motor gives up the ghost, and trust me, it will, you're staring down a $15,000 repair bill that'll make your mortgage payment look like pocket change. The carbon fiber body panels? Beautiful to look at, devastating to replace. We're talking $8,000 for a single door after what should be a minor parking lot mishap. And good luck finding an independent mechanic brave enough to work on this technological marvel. Most shops take one look under the hood and suddenly remember they have somewhere else to be. One owner in Texas told me his i8 spent more time getting pampered at the BMW dealership than he spent driving it. After 3 years and $35,000 in repairs, he traded it for a Corvette and never looked back. Want to know what's really wild about our next superstar? It's supposed to be the pinnacle of German luxury. Number 9, Mercedes-Benz S-Class, W222, the $100,000 money pit. Ever wonder what it feels like to own a car that's more high maintenance than a Hollywood celebrity? Meet the Mercedes S-Class from 2014 to 2020. This should be the crown jewel of German engineering, the car that makes other luxury sedans weep with envy. Instead, it's become the automotive equivalent of a beautiful house built on quicksand. The AR-matic air suspension is this car's kryptonite. It's not a question of if it'll fail, it's a question of when you'll be writing that $6,000 check to replace all 4 air struts. And that's assuming the technician doesn't find 3 other things wrong while they're in there, which they always do. But wait, there's more. The infotainment system crashes more often than a teenager learning to drive stick. The 12-volt battery, yes, the regular old car battery, costs $400 because it has to be programmed to the car's computer system. Here's a horror story. A buddy of mine bought a pristine 3-year-old S550 with 45,000 miles for $55,000. Seemed like a steal, right? Within 12 months, he dropped $12,000 on repairs, air suspension, transmission issues, and a complete infotainment replacement. Mercedes' response? That's normal wear and tear, sir. Their attitude is, you want a German luxury, now also pay for it. Number 8, Audi A8 D4 generation, the Quattro catastrophe. Think Quattro all-wheel drive means bulletproof reliability? Think again. The Audi A8 from 2011 to 2017 was supposed to showcase everything great about German engineering. Instead, it showcased how to turn an $80,000 investment into a $20,000 headache with 4 wheels. That gorgeous 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 in the S8, it's an absolute masterpiece. A masterpiece that requires $3,000 worth of carbon cleaning every 40,000 miles. They literally have to remove the entire intake manifold just to scrub the engine clean. It's like having to perform surgery on your car just to keep it breathing. The legendary Quattro system that made Audi famous? Well, when those differentials decide to call it quits, you're looking at $8,000 to make your all-wheel drive actually drive all wheels again. Then the infotainment system randomly decides to take vacations, leaving you with no navigation, no climate control, and no dignity. But here's the kicker. The A8's aluminum space frame is so complex that even minor accidents total the car. Insurance companies have learned to just write them off rather than attempt repairs. One mechanic I know calls the A8 the mortgage payment car because fixing one is like making an extra house payment every month. And speaking of payments, wait until you hear what BMW owners are dealing with. Number 7, BMW 7 Series G11 G12, the ultimate driving expense. At number 7, we have BMW's flagship 7 Series from 2016 to 2022. BMW calls it the ultimate driving machine. Owners call it the ultimate financial mistake. This generation, the 7 Series, is packed with more technology than a Tesla factory, and every single gadget is a potential financial disaster waiting to happen. Air suspension, active steering, gesture controls, massage seats. It all sounds amazing until you get the repair estimate. The N63 twin-turbo V8 has an oil addiction that would make a 1970s British sports car blush. We're talking a full quart every 1,000 miles, which BMW claims is normal. Normal for what? A lawnmower from 1985? When those turbos finally wave the white flag around 60,000 miles, you'll be waving goodbye to $15,000. That's enough money to buy a decent used car, but instead you're just fixing the engine in your not-so-reliable luxury sedan. But here's where it gets really painful. The 7 Series has something called brake-by-wire technology. When it fails, your car literally forgets how to stop properly. The fix? A complete brake system replacement costing $8,000. Consumer Reports gives the 7 Series a reliability rating so low, it's practically underground. One owner documented spending $24,000 in repairs over 3 years. That's Honda Accord money for repairs alone. Number 6. Mercedes AMG GT 4-door, the 4-door financial disaster. Ever wanted to combine supercar performance with sedan practicality? Mercedes heard you, and they created the AMG GT 4-door, a car that combines supercar repair bills with sedan-level depreciation. Starting at $140,000 and easily hitting $200,000 with options, this hand-built beauty promises to deliver thrills that'll make your heart race. What they don't mention is that the repair bills will make your heart stop entirely. That hand-assembled AMG V8 is a work of art, an expensive, temperamental work of art that throws tantrums like a spoiled celebrity. When it decides it needs attention, you're looking at $20,000 minimum to make it happy again? The active aerodynamics system that adjusts the car's slipperiness at speed? $12,000 when it decides to take a permanent vacation. But the real party trick is the rear-wheel steering system. It's supposed to make this big sedan dance like a ballerina, but when it brakes, your car becomes about as graceful as a shopping cart with a broken wheel. The repair bill? $15,000 for a complete system replacement. One owner in California thought he was being smart buying a 2-year-old AMG GT 63S for $160,000. 6 months and $35,000 in repairs later, he wasn't feeling so smart. The final straw came when the car's computer system had what can only be described as a complete breakdown. He sold it to a dealer for $90,000 and bought a Porsche 911. Sometimes the smart money knows when to cut its losses. Number 5. Audi RS7, the beautiful bankruptcy machine. Is it possible for a car to be too beautiful for its own good? The Audi RS7 might just prove that theory. This 4-door coupe is absolutely stunning. 600 horsepower wrapped in bodywork that looks like it was sculpted by angels. Unfortunately, it was apparently engineered by people who really like expensive repair bills. The RS7's twin-turbo V8 is a masterpiece of German engineering, but it's also a masterpiece of German over-engineering. Those turbos are mounted in the valley of the V8, which sounds cool until you realize that when they fail, the entire engine has to come out. We're talking $18,000 for a turbo replacement. That's luxury car money just to fix your luxury car. The Quattro system uses a sport differential that costs $12,000 to replace when it decides to retire early. And those gorgeous carbon ceramic brakes that are practically mandatory on a car this fast? They'll set you back $8,000 to replace and need refreshing every 30,000 miles if you actually use the car's performance. But here's what really stings. Diagnosing electrical problems in the RS7 can cost $2,000 before they even start fixing anything. One owner told me his RS7 spent 45 days at the dealer for electrical gremlins that they never fully solved. The RS7 proves that sometimes the most beautiful relationships are the most expensive to maintain. Number 4. BMW X7 M50i, the family hauler from hell. Need to haul the family in style? BMW's got you covered with the X7 M50i, a $100,000 SUV that'll haul your family and your entire financial future right to the repair shop. This is supposed to be the ultimate family luxury vehicle, the automotive equivalent of a first-class cabin that seats 7. Instead, it's more like buying a first-class ticket on the Titanic. The X7's air suspension makes the notoriously unreliable Mercedes AMG GT system look reliable. When it fails, and it fails often, you're looking at $6,000 to replace all 4 corners. The active roll stabilization system that keeps this big SUV flat in corners? That's another $8,000 when it gives up trying. But the real nightmare is the electrical system. This SUV has more computers than NASA used to put a man on the moon, and they all need to talk to each other constantly. When one fails, it can take down the entire system like dominoes. One owner in Florida got so frustrated with his X7's electrical problems that he started documenting them on YouTube. In 2 years, he had the entire wiring harness replaced twice at $15,000 a pop. BMW's technical explanation? It's a complex vehicle, sir. You know what else is complex? Explaining to your spouse why the family SUV costs more to maintain than your mortgage. Number 3. Mercedes-Benz G-Class, the $200,000 brick. Want to drive something that looks tough enough to survive an apocalypse, but breaks down more often than a 1980s British sports car? The Mercedes G-Class is calling your name. This $200,000 luxury SUV is based on a military vehicle from the 1970s, and sometimes it feels like it has the reliability of a 1970s military vehicle. The G-Class's hand-built V8 engine is impressive, but hand-built also means hand-expensive to fix. When the engine decides to launch itself, usually due to timing chain issues, you're looking at a $25,000 engine replacement. Those 3 differential locks that make the G-Wagon so capable off-road? They're also capable of draining your bank account at $5,000 per differential rebuild, and they often fail in groups. But here's a story that'll make you never want to buy a G-Wagon. A guy in Texas bought a brand new G63 AMG for $220,000. At 18,000 miles, barely broken in, the engine catastrophically failed. Mercedes wanted $35,000 to replace it, claiming warranty didn't cover it because he used the wrong oil. He fought them for 8 months, spent $15,000 on lawyers, and finally just walked away from the car. The bank repossessed it, and he still owed $180,000 on a car he couldn't drive. That's what I call German efficiency, efficiently separating you from your money. Number 2. Porsche Panamera Turbo S, the $200,000 paperweight. Think Porsche reliability comes standard with that iconic badge? The Panamera Turbo S would like to have a word with you. This $200,000 sedan promises 911 performance with 4-door practicality. What it actually delivers is 911-level repair bills with sedan-level depreciation. The Panamera's twin-turbo V8 is a masterpiece of engineering complexity. Emphasis on complex. When those turbos decide they've had enough, usually around 50,000 miles, you're looking at $20,000 to replace them. The PDK transmission, borrowed from Porsche's race cars, costs $15,000 to rebuild when it decides to throw in the towel. But here's where the Panamera really hurts. The air suspension system. It's so complex that Porsche charges $12,000 just to replace the air springs. When the entire system fails, you're looking at $25,000 to make the car drivable again. The worst part? This thing depreciates faster than it breaks. One owner bought a 3-year-old Turbo S for $120,000, spent $40,000 on repairs over 2 years, then tried to trade it in. The dealer offered him $45,000. He literally spent more on repairs than the car was worth. That's not German engineering, that's German comedy. Number 1. BMW i7, the $120,000 electric nightmare. And our number 1 German luxury car that'll bankrupt you faster than a Vegas casino is the BMW i7. This all-electric flagship sedan starts at $120,000 and represents everything wrong with modern German over-engineering. It's like they took everything that could go wrong with a regular BMW and added electricity to make it even more complicated. The i7's battery pack costs $50,000 to replace. That's more than most people make in a year. The mandatory air suspension system costs $8,000 to fix when it fails. Those luxurious massage seats that sound so appealing in the brochure? $6,000 when the motors burn out. But here's the real horror story, the i7 software. This car receives over-the-air updates that can brick the entire vehicle. One owner in New York had his i7 updated overnight, and it wouldn't start the next morning. BMW's solution? Replace every computer in the car for $25,000. The i7 proves that sometimes progress means finding new and innovative ways to separate you from your money. Look, I'm not saying all German cars are financial disasters waiting to happen, but these 10 models prove that sometimes that 3-pointed star or blue and white roundel comes with a price tag that extends far beyond what you pay at the dealership. What's your worst German car repair nightmare? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single horror story. And if this video just saved you from making a six-figure mistake, smash that like button and subscribe for more automotive truth.